Michigan is finally back in the top 25, back in the AP poll, back in the coaches poll, but they have to play for the Paul Bunyan Trophy and fight their in-state rival, the Michigan State Spartans, in East Lansing this Saturday. It'll be on NBC, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Michigan's 5-2, 3-1 in conference. Michigan State's 3-4, but unlike UCLA, who's 3-4 but 3-1 in conference, Michigan State's 3-4 and 0-4 in conference. Before I continue, liking the video, watching the video all the way through, and commenting your thoughts down below are the best ways to support the channel, as they help push me into the algorithm, help me to receive a larger paycheck that I can use to reinvest in producing elite analysis for you all. Subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell, sharing the video around, and supporting us in other ways that you can find out via the description are other awesome ways to support our operation at College Football with Sam. We are becoming the best. We want to be the best. Thank you all for making that possible. I really thought it was going to work with Jonathan Smith and Michigan State. I really thought it was going to work, and we'll talk about them shortly. I want to talk about Michigan first, but my goodness, has it been bad. For Michigan, there's been feelings of that too at times this year, where whether it was after Oklahoma and how conservatively Michigan coached there, or after USC and how Michigan just got annihilated, there were doubts about Michigan's coaching from a lot of their fans and maybe even from the staff internally. But Michigan, they had a nice win against Nebraska on the road, which I think that was Nebraska's Super Bowl, at least at the time. Now they're probably going to try and refocus that same energy against USC in a few weeks, which is going to be a night game. It was a nice win there, and then they earned probably Moore's best win as a coach against Washington at home, where he came up with a good game plan. He outcoached Jedd Fisch, and his players outplayed Jedd Fisch's players. So pretty incredible, I would say, for the Wolverines here. They have a different type of test in that they're playing their first rivalry game at Michigan State this Saturday. They also have another rivalry game against Ohio State, not at Ohio State. They host Ohio State, thankfully for their sake, at the end of the year at noon, as always. So a different type of test here, but Michigan is favored by 14.5, and the line crept up after opening up at 12.5. For Michigan State, the Spartans, how do I put it this way? They looked encouraging for the first half against Western Michigan, and ever since then it's been a downward spiral. No defense against Boston College, who is currently 1-6. Youngstown State's a good FCS team, but any competent Power 4 or Power 2 team should destroy an FCS team. Michigan State did not. Michigan State looked encouraging against USC. Lost 31-45, made it a fight for 3 quarters. They, at one point, led Nebraska 21-14, made that a fight, was encouraging. UCLA got destroyed 13-38, and it was the same score against Indiana, but Michigan State played a whole lot better. This is the difference between UCLA and Indiana. UCLA's best is only 25 points better than Michigan State's worst. Indiana's worst is 25 points better than Michigan State's best. So simple math here says Indiana should beat UCLA by 50, which is kind of what I think happens this Saturday. We'll see if that reigns true. Hosting Michigan in a game where I think Spartans will still, to a certain degree, at least the diehards will show out for, kind of giving one last vote of confidence for the staff and for the team that maybe if they beat Michigan, the ship can be wrought. The ship can be righted. Why did I say rot? It'll be interesting. This will be a game where Michigan cannot overlook Michigan State, but also Michigan State will need to get up and play hard in this game if they even want to have a shot to win. For Michigan, pay attention to these 6 players. Bryce Underwood at quarterback, Justice Haynes at halfback. You could also say Jordan Marshall too. And then freshman wide receiver Andrew Marsh, who's played out of his mind recently. Wide receiver Donovan McCulley. I'd love to see how Blake Frazier plays, because I don't know if Evan Link is going to be in this game. I don't think he will be. Center Greg Crippen has had a pretty good year. Defensively, look at Jayshon Barham and Derek Moore at edge. Trey Pierce and Rayshon Benny at defensive tackle, Cole Sullivan at linebacker. Curious to see if Rod Moore plays in this game. He did really well against Wisconsin, but didn't play against Washington or USC. For Michigan State, Aiden Childs, Nick Marsh, center Matt Golbin, wide receiver Amari Kelly. Pay attention to those players. Defensively, I think for Michigan State, what you want to do is do what you did against Indiana. Sell out against the run and see if Michigan can beat you through the air. That's what I think the Spartans want to do. If they actually show a semblance of good coaching, that is what they will do. Sell out to stop the run, see if they can stop it. It's not going to be a given, but if they do, Michigan State will have to then see if their secondary can hold up against this Michigan passing attack. They have a better chance of holding up there than they did against Indiana, but I ultimately don't think that will happen here. I do believe that Michigan is going to win, and not just win, but a cover here. People have said before that Jonathan Smith doesn't understand the rivalry to a certain degree. I don't think that he gets it still. And more importantly, Michigan from a talent angle, just like a raw talent angle on offense, is probably ahead or matched to what a lot of their really good teams under Harbaugh were. They're just not as complete there, and the defense talent-wise isn't there. Also, the coaching isn't there. A lot of Michigan's current issues, I think, have to relate to the porous wide receiver depth, even though a good wide receiver too is emerging. The fact that Michigan does not have excellent tight ends the way they have in the past, though they are deep there and they're good, just not as good. They're not Colston Loveland good. Michigan also, I don't think, is quite as good on the offensive line, but they're getting there. There's a lot of encouraging things from this Michigan offense that remind me of the 21 through 23 offenses, but they're more inconsistent and they don't have the same depth and they're younger there. Defensively, they don't have any of the same type of talent. So for Michigan State, they're going to have to win in a shootout here. And the offense, while it has shown promise and talent, is itself inconsistent. It would be one thing if Jonathan Smith had a 2022 or 2023 USC type team where you have the current bad defense, but your offense is among the nation's best. That's not the case here. The offense is very inconsistent as well. So I'm expecting Michigan and Michigan State to probably battle it out for a quarter or two, but Michigan will eventually pull away and win. I mean, there's a reason, guys, why last year's line was like Michigan minus 4.5 or something at home. And this year, despite it being on the road, Michigan's minus 14.5. Don't overthink this. And as for the Big Ten standings, Michigan is one of these teams that in theory has an outside shot at Indy. In theory. The way you want to maximize this is you win out, including against Ohio State, and Oregon takes a loss somewhere else. Because there is a world where if Oregon wins out along with you too, that Ohio State or the Ducks get in over you to go to Indy. There is an outside shot for Michigan to do that. For Michigan State, your goal at all is to go bowling. And maybe if you're a State fan, you don't even want that so that you can have a change of leadership here. I feel bad for Michigan State fans, same with Wisconsin fans. Those are two fan bases that deserve better than what they are getting right now. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure if you haven't already to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment your analysis and thoughts down below so I can reciprocate my thoughts with you in the comment section, and check out anything on these end screens that are up here. Whether it's a recommended video or playlists for teams that I'm talking about in a preview, prediction, or a reaction, make sure to hit the notification bell on those, scroll through them, and watch any suggested videos if you are interested. Thank you for helping college football with Sam become the best and the biggest college football brand and channel on YouTube and other social media platforms. We will reach that one day because of your support.